Do you ever feel like you're eating a bowl of acronym soup? Today, I'm going to explain one often cited software acronym, ERP. I'm not just going to tell you its definition. I'll cover the evolution from what it used to be to where the vendors have taken it and where ERP solutions are headed in response to the next big shifts in the digital revolution. I know this may sound a little mundane, but stick with me, it's actually pretty cool stuff. I am Shannon Boucher from Plan to Action. We are project management experts that love to help business leaders run more efficient technology projects, and one of our areas of expertise is ERP. So, what is ERP anyway? Well, ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, and it is a term that was coined by industry analysts in the 1990s to describe what was then a fairly new business solution that allowed all departments within a company to process transactions using the same system. That system was called an ERP. Each business function used the same data elements, which allowed the impact of transactions entered in one department to seamlessly integrate with the work of another department. The alternative approach was that each business function leveraged a software solution that was built specifically for their area, and the solutions were connected together. That was called a best-of-breed approach. For ease of upgrade and data consistency, most companies went the ERP route for core processes. The core business processes supported by an ERP are order to cash, which is taking a sales order for a customer and tracking it through to fulfillment and receiving payment, procure to pay, ensuring that products are available for sale and that vendors are paid for the products and services, and record to report, which are the financial processes of an organization. Three key attributes to remember about ERP systems. Number one, the ERP system was the system of record for key business data. Think customers, vendors, products, pricing, warehouse locations, things like that. Number two, ERP system packages were implemented as much as possible without significant changes to functionality because they were intended to guide companies to use best practices in their processes. And number three, work done in one department triggered work in a related department in real time. So, for example, when a sales order was confirmed, an inventory adjustment could be triggered. In the late 90s, CRM solutions started gaining in popularity. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, and those solutions really focused on tracking the front-end pre-sales order activities of the business. Sales reps would use these tools to document interactions with customers and initiate contracts and quotes. Integration between CRM systems and ERP systems for data such as customer details, products, and pricing were some of the first bolt-on applications, or conscious choices that were made by the company to leverage a tool outside of the ERP for business processes. Then they had to decide which system should be the system for creation and maintenance of that key data. When multiple systems are in play and they're all transaction intensive, performance across and within those systems is really important. Running data-intensive reports off of those systems was a bad idea because it could slow down the business transactions flowing through them. So data warehouses began to emerge. Transactional data would be pushed to a data warehouse after business closed each day so that reports could be generated as needed the following morning. So that was the beginning of ERP. In the early 2000s, technology was rapidly changing and the ways systems talked to each other began to shift. The two big changes were, number one, hardware allowed for more processing power at a cheaper cost, and number two, integration tools emerged for reusable data integrations between applications. So instead of getting integrations that resembled a bunch of spaghetti connecting the applications, there was a shift to a hub and spoke model of integration, and that hub could process data faster and cheaper. This shift was dramatic enough for analysts to coin the term ERP2. Data integration improvements were driven across the supply chain, meaning there was more real-time visibility into supply from vendors and demand from customers. Also, because it was easier to integrate, ERP vendors began acquiring companies that had offered bolt-on capabilities into their solution, taking ERP systems beyond a single system into a suite of applications. Performance improvements and real-time data movement were also linchpin in expanding the role of a data warehouse or data repository. Real-time updates meant that the data could be used operationally for reporting and application integration without the time lag. The pace at which vendors could acquire and integrate best-of-breed solutions increased. This increased complexity, but also seemed to offer best-in-class solutions. To summarize the three key results of the technology advances of ERP2, number one, code for data integration became reusable. Number two, real-time visibility into the supply chain became standard. And number three, vendors began growing capabilities by acquisition. This is the space in which a lot of slow adopting customers currently reside. It isn't uncommon for a company to begin a new tool implementation to find out within a few months that the software was purchased by one of the ERP vendors. The importance of the core processes still remains, but the data integration is now the heartbeat of the solution, supporting the whole portfolio. Loose coupling is now better than tightly coupled, which is a dramatic shift from the early years. From point-of-sale solutions to expense management software and budget cycle and financial reporting tools, the big vendors are like Pac-Man gobbling smaller companies up. At some point, the term ERP becomes less applicable and needs to be replaced. Analysts coined the phrase postmodern ERP, but the vendors tend to refer to it as a solution portfolio. So what is the next evolution in the solution portfolio? Technology is changing so rapidly now that it is hard to have an ROI horizon that is proving out. The pressure to deliver technology faster is creating friction with the complexity that exists in the solutions. And keeping up the technology investment is now a cost of entry into the market because consumer expectations are elevated. Somehow, these investments need to show value both in efficiencies and in sales growth. Companies are responding by, number one, reducing costs of IT. Number two, leveraging the existing investments for new markets and business models. And number three, incorporating automation technologies and artificial intelligence to revamp and reduce the cost of core business functions. Let's talk about reducing the cost of IT first. Faster adopting companies with mature systems are looking to simplify and reduce the costs by moving the solutions to the cloud. These initiatives provide an opportunity to re-architect the solutions in a more adaptive way. But that work will eat into the anticipated ROI of the cloud migration. Companies continue to outsource IT support and look for ways to be more efficient. For new companies or companies replacing their core ERP solution, installations are being offered primarily in a software as a service model that is hosted in the cloud, allowing lower upfront investment in hardware, software, and subsequent upgrades. This causes pressure on licensing structures as customers shift on the spectrum of ERP offerings. New markets and new business models. Just as technology consumption is shifting to a service-based offering, there is a business shift emerging from products to value-based services. Think of when leasing a car became a reasonable alternative to owning a car. The next iteration on that business model might be paying only for the miles used or not having a car at all and just paying for the service of a ride. Businesses are revamping business models to be customer value driven. Often a new model is tested in a new market first. New markets are the other way businesses are trying to increase sales. Companies that have not invested in technology risk losing market share to competitors that have. The retail industry is experiencing this now. From electronics to clothes to groceries, a consolidation is occurring and the best technology platforms are taking over. Brick and mortar stores are quickly shifting to marketing assets because often even sales that start in the store are completing online. As automation technology improves, even more jobs will be replaced by chatbots, robots, and software analytics. Artificial intelligence will be able to consolidate analysis that takes thousands of man-hours today down to mere seconds tomorrow. To leverage these capabilities, companies will need to be on the cutting-edge technology platforms, and those capabilities are already being incorporated into the solution portfolio. To summarize, the history of ERP is being expedited as it matures. The same three business drivers that fueled the introduction of ERP in the 90s, reduced IT costs, improved speed to market, and efficient business processes, are driving the next iteration of software today. While the reasons for the software remain the same, the speed of the cycle is increasing, so the ROI has to be higher and to be realized faster for the project to make sense. At Plan to Action, we help customers implement technology and have a lot of experience with ERP vendor solutions. The way companies implement these projects has been in a constant state of flux as well. Helping you adapt to perpetual change and be successful in project delivery is what we love to do. Please send me a message if you would like to continue the conversation of the ERP evolution in your company. Thank you.